Hello, YouTube. I thought I'd drop you a line. Um, I've been reflecting on a lot. About my life, and I realized that as much as sometimes you can regret a lot of things in life, and yes, I don't regret my life, no. Sometimes things happen for a reason. I'll explain. I've been reflecting on if I hadn't done this, would this have happened if I had done, but being the very person that I am, I can always see what happens if I hadn't done this or that. So I know what life would have been like if I had not left where I was or met the people that I've met. I just want to say that no matter how much sometimes terrible things have happened to me, for the most part, I'm grateful for a lot of things that did. Like, I met the love of my life. No, this is not a gush at my fiance, but if I had never have left where I was, I would not have him in my life. So I will forever be grateful for that. And the people that I know, I would never have known them if I hadn't left where I was. And they wouldn't have known each other either. I know that's an exaggeration, but the way things have changed, the way that things played out, I would love to explain it, and I can, but not in too much detail, because gotta respect their amnesty and their privacies. Trilogies, the channel, keep watching him. He's the best. I met him through YouTube at a live stream, and then I met someone else named Drunk Monk. I met him at a server, and after I met him, I met a lot of other people after that. And if I hadn't met Trilogies and them before that, they wouldn't have known the other people that I know that I met before they did. It's a ripple effect, and even though things have went the way they went, I wouldn't change them for that very reason, really. Even my ex-best friend, it's stupid, but because I met him, things wouldn't have went the way they did. And I know I regret a lot of things between us that I wish I could mend, but time, that's all you can do. And if you never get over it, you just never get over it. That's just something I can't change. Do I wish I could have fixed things? I still wish I could fix things, yes. If I could take back everything I've done to make him hate me, to make him the way he was, that went the way it went, I'd do anything in the world for that. But I know that's not gonna happen. That's just wishful thinking. But if I hadn't met him, I wouldn't have met Trilogies and everyone else that I know. Yeah, I know that he was put in my life for a reason. I think it was to find someone higher up that I couldn't be happier to have in my life, spiritually. And do I miss him? Oh, yeah. We were very close for a long time before this terribleness happened. We were close, and I'm not gonna lie, I do still miss what I had once with him as a friend, and I would give anything to take back what I did and said and done, whatever, even if it was for 5 minutes just for him to say, I'm happy to see you, or I'm glad to talk to you, and I miss our talks. I miss our laughs. I miss everything. But I don't wanna, I'd rather be the way it is now, because maybe it was for the best. I know I'm a contradiction with this, because one way I would love for him to be back in my life, the other way I would rather it stay the way it is. I will forever hate that I had to. Okay. I was never going to confess this on camera, but there was a reason why I said what I said, and I'm not proud of why I said it. I didn't say it because I said it to mean it like that. I said it to get out of something that I didn't want to do. Yeah. Honest to blob reason. That's why. And I never meant it. Honestly. I would never wish that on anyone. And I said the consequences was merited, not the action. And that's what I actually meant. But I knew that that would just put me in a bigger spot, so I said the most horrible thing you could say to someone, even though I never ever really meant it, to get out of something I didn't want to do later in life. It worked though. I got my freedom at a very high price. I was never going to say anything. I was going to die with that, but I think life is just too long in my case, and I'd rather not. All I know is that the only thing I ever really wished for him is that he has the best life possible, that his family's happy, healthy, and doing great, and that I'll forever hope for the best for him. Nothing more. I mean, I may be a heartless person as you think. That just isn't me. I wish it were me sometimes, because then being heartless sometimes feels the easiest way out. I mean, a lot of people say that. A lot of people say being bad, being horrible is easier than being the good and just person. And I don't blame you. Honestly. Yeah, sometimes it feels easier to be bad. And it feels like it's more painful to be good. But that's just not in my character. I can't be bad even if I wanted to. I have enemies I wouldn't wish harm on, because it just doesn't make sense. Anyway, I know I should have told you guys sooner about that, and I wanted to, but as I said, I was never going to say anything. But I figured now, after a long time has passed, why the hell not, right? I thought it was time. And, well, you got the honest truth. I hope that you guys can make peace with that. And if it's any consolation, it didn't feel good to keep it from you guys either. Just like my engagement wasn't good to keep away from anyone, but that was my fiance's choice. He said, you may as well say it. Eventually they're going to find out anyway. So that's what I did. I just hope that at some point in life he'll forgive me and we can maybe not reclaim what we once had, but start anew. Start on equal and truthful and trusting grounds. But if not, that's okay. I'm not doing this to make up with you. I'm not doing this to get a row out of you. I'm doing it to clear the air and make peace. It's time I made peace with myself and everything in between. Don't mind that. That's my iron deficiency, I think. I know, I take iron pills every day, but sometimes I still have a moment where it does this. Ugh. Anyway, I know this video is going to be a little long because I have a lot to say this time, so why the hell not? My friends are doing a little thing I'm not going to say because eventually they'll just tell you themselves when they put the video up or something. You'll see. LPT Let's Play Trilogies, he's going to watch him because he's going to put a few videos up and you're going to love what he does. Please subscribe to him because you know what? He is the best person ever. I should have made this into a Trilogies commercial, but I didn't want to bombard you with that. But I can still do that anyway because you know what? Why the hell not? He's currently working on a few things and he is going to release them soon. But if I were you, I would catch up with all the videos he has now because you know what? Ooh, they're fun, they're long, and you'll be entertained for hours, like I am always. Anyway, back to what I was saying. As I was saying about what I was thinking. I was thinking, what if I had never moved away and started from scratch again? It wasn't the easiest decision. I had just graduated high school and I didn't want to leave, but things were getting bad where I was. Really, really bad. I can tell you that I lived and I'm still from New York, Brooklyn, yes. I used to live there for years. Haven't been back there in years though. Anyway, it was just after my graduation. Things had gotten a little horrible where I was. Okay, albeit very horrible. A lot of things went down that I didn't want to go down, and I was so sad. But maybe it was for the best. I didn't want to go, but things were pulling me from there, and I ended up here. Which I'm not going to say quite where. I mean, you know, sometimes a little privacy is not going to kill me. But the point is that I ended up leaving. I hated the leave. At first, yes. But where I am, it's not so horrible. I'll give you that. When I first got here, it was awesome. But now it's just gotten a little harder to, you know, breathe and whatever. But that's all part of the process, I guess. I dated after I broke up with my 9-year relationship, because yeah, I was in a 9-year relationship. I was engaged throughout high school. Yeah, he was my first ever real relationship, sort of. Actually, no. He was my first serious sort of relationship. And when we reached the 9-year mark, I told him it was over. You want to know why? I realized he wasn't in love with me. Yeah, I was an idiot, wasn't I? He keeps claiming that it was an amicable breakup, but it wasn't. I left. Let's not get it twisted. You're not going to change that. I did leave. And it was the right thing to do. I don't regret that, no. I mean, sometimes I wish I had done it sooner rather than later. It is what it is. After that, that's when I met my ex-friend. And it was the best time of my life at that time, yeah. Because I haven't had friends since I left New York, you know? And well, I'm not going to get into history right there because it just needs to be buried, but all I say is that I loved every minute of hanging out with him. every day talking, everything, this, that, and the third. Oh, I did. I mean, I will never regret that. No. I won't even regret meeting him in person, okay? I know that was the mistakes were made there, but I loved the area he was in, and his family was awesome. I'll give him that. And it drew me to something a lot bigger. And I'm glad that I will never, ever, ever regret that, no. And, yeah. Point is that long time ago, later after that, after a dozen horrible dates and very bad luck, I mean, seriously bad. Dating sucks, online and in person. I had a few terrible dates till I met him, my fiance. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't know he lived across the street from me, but he did. And I didn't know him. We had just moved here, and he was across the street, but I didn't know that. No. Someone else was next door. When they left, he moved next door. I didn't say a word because he looked out of, you've seen him. He is out of my league. I tell you what. That's the truth. He was out of my league. Well, one day he just decided, oh, well, I could fix your computer because my computer had been dead for several years. Yeah. It was back when Dell was actually not so bad. And, everyone said it was. I didn't know. Yada, yada. I had a pink Dell with, what was it? I forgot what was on it. Oh my gosh. I'm probably going to remember it later. Vista. There we go. Vista. Vista wasn't all that. I know. It wasn't. Well, anyway. He was trying to fix my PC. Instead, he finally got it to turn on, but it was dead to say the least. I'm not sure what happened, but I didn't have a PC for a couple of years. It died. And then, in that process, it was freezing at his house. I was cold as hell. They said, see, I'm cold. So I put my hand on his neck like this, and he got up. After I confessed, I said, I like you a lot, okay? I tried not to, and it just didn't work out, and I've always had a thing for you. I didn't want to say I loved him, because I did, but I didn't say nothing. His father, may he rest in peace, was encouraging me, and I chickened out for a good long time before I said anything. But then when I did, I said, look, I'm cold. And then he got up and he kissed me. And that's when I knew I was just getting crazy in love with that man. More than normal. It had always been that way. Like, it felt like it was right. Like it clicked. Still does to this very day. Things were great. Not perfect, but yeah, we had our moments. Wasn't always great, yada yada. Even though he lived next door, it was never always an easy thing to spend time together. But we did, and we were good together. Before we hit the year mark, which is now our anniversary. Well, now our anniversary is in September. And it was right before we were supposed to hit a year back then. And he left me. He said that I'm getting a job that I'm not going to have time for a girlfriend. Yeah. But the truth was his father was not all there. And I'm not going to get into details of what went down. I'm just going to say that it wasn't looking good for him. And it's not that I wanted to. He made me leave. He said, he didn't tell me that anything, but I knew that was probably the reason. He wanted to take care of him and spend his last whatever's he had time with him. And he did. 4 years. We stayed apart. No contact. Not a happy birthday, not a happy holidays. He was engaged on Facebook, but that wasn't real. Thank God. Anyway. A little after things went terrible, may he rest in peace, that's when he came back around. And I said, because I didn't know. I knew there was sparks between us, but I didn't want to say nothing. So he decided to take me out. And I said, in most countries, this is considered a date. He's like, mm-hmm. Are we back together? He's like, mm-hmm. He's not a man of words sometimes. So all I got was, mm-hmm. And it was like nothing ever changed between us. Like, feelings were always there. And I said, why come back? And he said, it had been 4 years between us that we hadn't been together. And I just couldn't forget you. I'm like, you never go back to your exes. He's like, no, never. But this breakup wasn't our fault. It had to happen at the time. And so, we got back together, and now it's going to be September, going to be 4 years now. And our love story was never a perfect one, but the one thing I was always certain of, that our feelings for each other never left our systems. You would think it'd be easy to get over someone like that, but it wasn't. The first time was easy because I knew he'd come back somehow, and I was right. I just didn't know how long it would take. Anyway, I didn't mean to make this a long video or video of my love story and whatnot, but I had a lot in my head. Thought it should come out. Anyway, fast forward to now. We're 4 years together now, almost, September, and we're happy as clams. The only reason we got back together was because he couldn't forget me, and I knew I felt the same way. Yeah, when he left me for the first time, it hurt, but I don't know how I did it. But I know that I pushed it down and I moved on, or tried to. I had horrible luck then too. But now, I don't have to worry about that. I have a good guy, and I hope to never, never lose him. The point is that what I've been trying to say this whole video is that even though your life gives you a lot of twists, turns, bruises, cuts, everything in the planetarium, don't take it for granted is one. Keep walking, no matter what. That's 2. 3 is, I know this is gonna sound cliche for anyone, but God only gives you what you can handle and what you can carry. Never anything you can't handle or hold in your hands. Yeah, I know. Too philosophical, but it is true. Sometimes you have to go through a lot of crazy, crazy shit to get to the point that it's good. So, no matter what craziness I go through, I will always hope for the good to come out at the end. I'm sorry this video is so freaking long, but I hope that you like it. I just had way too much in my head. and I didn't mean to take this long. But I hope that you guys appreciate what I keep doing, because, you know, I love doing it. So, I'm gonna get going, because, well, it's 1:15 where I am. And I thought that I'd be talking to people by now, but I guess not. Still at it, I see. Well, anyway, I'm also excited about Wednesday. The series is coming back, and I can't believe they already renewed it for season 3. Can you believe that? Already a season 3? They didn't even give season 2 yet. Don't blame it. Wednesday was pretty good. To think, I thought it would suck. I ended up loving the hell out of it. Such a good series. I can't wait. I might wait till it all comes out and then I watch it all at once. I don't know. Well, I gotta go. I'm making this video way too long, and I don't want it that long. Thanks for listening, and I'm sorry for it being so long. And be safe. Don't go out unless it's necessary, because I know it's hot. And take care. I'll try to make another one. Hopefully not as long. Sorry. Alright. See you, YouTube. Bye.